Welcome to Eve Online. I'm Major Freak. This is awesome. I I thought I was only going to do a three-part of the quitting alliance thing, but this is fascinating. See, on the surface, I just got wardecked by Hull Drop, and I was like, wait, it's a 2-week cooldown. Look, it's the war HQ was no more on the first, so it's not been 2 weeks. And it's like, wait a minute. I left Alliance, so I am no longer part of the mechanic that checks for a relationship. No longer. It can't, so we've established it can't distinguish between aggressor and defender when it checks. The mechanic checks for a relationship. So it doesn't check that I was part of the Alliance. It's fresh. So not only is the mechanic blind to defender aggressor, it's blind to any sub entities inside the Alliance, which is utterly bizarre. I'm sure it'll make sense when I ponder it for a while, and might illuminate the mechanic hiding behind the facile CCP documentation, you know? It's fascinating. Anyways, yeah, so Hull Drop war deck me. Now, they won't be able to war deck the Alliance for another week, or another, till the 15th. So but by then, at the rate these guys are pacing it, he won't get on many they recruited me before. They recruited parts of Shoot First. I only lasted a week until I realized they were war decking CBA, or grinding CBA into the dust, that house of cards. You sneeze at it, it blows apart. Nobody ever did till then. And I also quit because they war decked DeLone Wolf, who I was enjoying at the time, until I realized he was just not fact checking things enough and just spreading misinformation. Probably because trolls were feeding him misinformation, which is the metagame of Eve. Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, we're laughing that. So the guy we're laughing that. Trying to claim in local that it was Hull Drop that contracted Domain to go after me specifically, which is yeah, no, it's like you're reading erotic literature online and you don't check the tags, and oh, surprise penis. Like, make your own adventure. In local chat. It's so funny. And people are buying it. It's like, guys, it's local spam. Jesus. And of course, now they'll just play it to the hilt. It's like, oh yeah, totally. It proves that, Hull Drop was just waiting for you to drop from an alliance. And it's like, why would Hull Drop even, why would it's like, guys, have you ever seen a B grade movie before? Just don't. It just doesn't hold water. But yeah, I mean, I started to make this video. We're laughing about it. It's like, I was just, the plot holes, and I was like, wait, okay, so let me get this straight. It just, So the only way you target me specifically is because you found out somehow, either through in-alliance people telling him, or about that I was, I'm their intel guy. I am an intel guy. So how would you even, it's not like I smack in local going, I'm the one who, I don't. So it was either leaked through alliance, or Alliance Discord as a civ. But I was, yeah, but it just doesn't make sense. It's like, wait, you want to destroy all my structures? Okay, so you destroy all my structures, which was happening anyways because Domain was in the area and saw some easy targets and went for it. And so you contract them, right. Sure, it was a contract. If I had $1 for every time I heard the word God, never mind. So, yeah. So you want to destroy all my structures. And I've been... Yeah, I've never... After... Yeah, it's just... You would have... No, it's just... I haven't even released from Unlisted the videos me talking about, it's like, I never really got around to using all those upwell clone plants I'd been, making the Astra houses for. I don't need any Astra houses. I just found it was, theory crafting is better than, implants. But I've never released that video, so it's like, maybe they think I'll anchor things in the future so they can continually wardeck me? Feel free if CCP ever removes the 100% buyback for cores. If ever. But yeah, I don't have a use for clone services. I mean, they're great fun, but it was a great fun thing to do. That gave me a little bit extra on very specific things, but it's not like I absolutely needed to do it. Let's say it wasn't like a life or death thing, because eventually I've theory crafted my way into dealing with fobs so well that I don't need the implants. So I will never need, and yeah, I will never need to use, it's not a necessity I've found. I used to think it was, because it was like, why can't I? And then you're like, oh, somebody gave me the opportunity to do so. I took it and made like 8 Astra houses. I think my math's bad. But yeah, it's like, so you take away all my Astra houses. Okay, good for you, hoard on the kills. You better hoard on the kills, because otherwise, what do they think? Yeah, it's just... Yeah, my friend was like, okay, so why would he wardeck you if he hired somebody to take you out? So why wouldn't he crow about it beforehand and just hope I leave Alliance? It's just the maddest thing. I mean, it's not a big conspiracy. They're a bunch of whatever, will wing it kind of guys. And so is Hull Drops, just, plunk a new HQ down and go on. And I think he forgot about me until, I'm sure, Domain or somebody inside Alliance told him, I've got enough haters. I voice my opinion way too loudly. And react to things too. So it's easy fodder for, bullies and trolls. AKA same thing. Yeah, but it's like I'm their Nintendo system, game within a game. But yeah, that it just, none of it holds any water, so it's hilarious that they would poke the bear. Here you've just removed his ability to be wardecked. Period. And he's an Intel guy. And in local, they've been dropping hints that, oh yeah, Wherefore was actually the real contract taker. It's not Whole Drop at all, because, blah, 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 he's just blah, blah, blah. And it's like, so, wait a minute, let me get this straight. Or you found out that I do regular updates for any victims of wherefore. So Whole Drop thought it would be a great idea to poke the bear too. He thinks it's more content for him? Okay, that's probably true, but see, it's risky, and these people are risk averse. So what are they doing risking more content to them that they might not be able to control? See? So it doesn't make sense that they would go after me deliberately. I'm just somebody on their Rolodex. That's all I am. So it holds, like, to me, it's like if somebody comes to me and says, no, we've got proof that blah, 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 and it's like, what, local chat? What? So you think everybody exists in a vacuum and they didn't clue into an opportunity to troll somebody and then get them in on it? It's just like, okay, guys, just, I don't know the logical fallacy involved. It's definitely post some Latin bullshit. But yeah, after the fact, guys, going to this B grade movie shit. So yeah, it's interesting, and the more I learn about it, the easier it will be to test on Singularity. The more information we'll have, and the more you can build up okay, here's what you do, here's what you can avoid, here are the pitfalls, here are the traps these people set for you. There are ways to trick people into leaving Alliance. I think I talked about that earlier, about I think Ice Elf left a couple of hours after Wherefore dropped a corp from their corp, but was able to trick the system into giving it an instant 24-hour cooldown. And I think Ice Elf saw that and thought, oh, he can pull his corp out of his Alliance and get the same cooldown. It's just heat of the moment. You think it's, oh, okay, yeah. So many exceptions. So it's funny when CCP ever responds to stuff like this and goes, something unrelated, but I can extrapolate. I asked them about something, and the senior DM came back and said, well, we don't document this stuff very well because we love emergent content, so the players can, and I'm starting to build this concept that CCP feeds us this horrible documentation, so people like this who experience it, have more experience with it, can take advantage of those who don't have experience, because the documentation is not only non-existent, but poorly worded, and in some cases, complete fabrication, a lie. Oh yeah, the article by CCP about wardecs is just, just print it out and burn it, because it's an abomination. It's just, what the? So it's fascinating, but the problem is, it's like, it doesn't make any sense that the mechanic is this way. It doesn't make any sense CCP documents it this way. It doesn't make any sense that people would pretend that you can have contracts in a system that promotes selfishness, promotes random ganking, promotes after-the-fact excuse-making, and they even promote it to gaming news sites, like the Guiding Hand Social Club contract against Ubiquous Seraph, a wannabe Pi organization, which was a wannabe CVA. I think Pi was part of CVA. I forget. Its memory's a bit shady back then. But yeah, it's just random targets with decks, gank anybody you can, and the bravado of, if you bring tank will just bring more DPS. And it's like that it's not a if you make yourself strong, you'll attract attention. That's not it at all. It's that we were just local, easy targets for a low-sec entity that routinely wardecs high-sec. You know, because easy targets. And what is Vicamia? I mean, not Vicamia, but Mesaba. What is Mesaba? It's a nearby port with only one station in system, and they use it, and it's a kick-out station, and they use it to farm anybody foolish enough to get, say, something cheap nearby Amar. Let's go buy it there. They get ganked, and there's always people from domain camping it. So these people are, yeah, and like I said, they wardeck freaking Delonworth. I thought it was pretty low. I don't think they actually went through with it seriously. But they are aware of YouTubers, so obviously it must have been, because it was like, wait, they must be watching his YouTube somehow and getting, you know, I don't know, maybe helping him out. I have no idea. But yeah, regardless of whatever they're doing, it's definitely helping me out. I mean, Jesus, this is a priceless opportunity. I mean, when have I ever had, like, you think about it, oh, it's unfair, oh, they're metagaming it, they've got spies and Discord, and they're twisting words, and they're pretending to be sportsmanlike, and they're using opportunities to, and it's like, yeah, but I'm learning what it's like cookie cutter stuff. It's like meta. It's like metagaming, but also they use a meta to do it. It's all meta. Their window dressings of using nesters at first was like weird, because it's like, wait, the meta for low-sec is like Drekavax and Cruiser Logi, and now after we countered them a bit, they're going back to that. So it's like, I thought you guys were going to do that from the beginning, and the fact they're hitting so many structures, we thought they were going to do it in the beginning. So it's like, why are you ramping up? Why are you teasing? It's a meta. They can't help not do that. So it's nothing personal, and it's nothing contracted. It's just random, easy targets, and easy by as they know they can take you out. And it's kind of like, they make Freudian slips too. There was this spy in Discord who's like, early on, like, I can trace the chronology. It's fascinating. Early on, within 2 days of being wardecked by this guy's like, basically the gist is, what are you gonna do, man? Let's just look at for the future. And I'm like trying to cheer him up, assuming he's a Care Bear, and he never let on until he really started toying with me later. He was the source of the leak that they were making fun of me later. It was like, so I look at his Z-kill history. I'm like, wait, this guy's not a Care Bear. He's not throwing wet blankets around like, oh, what are we going to do? Let's look at the future. We can't win. And it was like, no, this is a great opportunity to learn. And I was trying to encourage him. But yeah, after the leak, it was like, wait, that was too obvious. So go check his Z-kill. And like back in 2009, he's been doing high-sec market hub camping with tornadoes. So, and he's been around this low-sec area before, just being a pirate. So I'm like, okay, so easy kills. Oh, so if it's not winnable, they won't play. So if it's not winnable, they're not going to take on the opposition. Therefore, they're not going to play. So if they can't win, they won't do it. Therefore, risk aversion, they won't learn anything. And if they act like they're playing fair, like they're not bringing enough, like they were in the beginning, it was like, wait, these guys know how this is not their first rodeo. What are they doing? And of course, I didn't have any points on my stuff, and I only had, sirens, which are pointy fighter wings. But I was like, wait, this is something really suspicious, because I know these guys are capable of much, much more than this. There's a 1,000-man corp, and they're fielding, less than a dozen pilots to take us out during their prime time. It was like, what? So it made no sense. it was a great opportunity for me to stumble my first steps into defense. And it was entertaining for them, I'm sure, because they got content. Most people just, if they can't win, they don't play, But me, it's like learning opportunity. So that's the thing. It's like all this was just content. It wasn't a contract. It wasn't deliberate. It was just, hey, random nearby easy targets we know are a win, so they'll play. And that was the gist of the very first troll that immediately made me want to quit Alliance. But I was like, I got to do stuff first and red tape, and then I was like, wait a minute. And by that time, I was leery of the sportsmanship stuff from Domain. It was like, wait, you guys were the ones who played CVA, and you're known for local smack, and you camp Misaba and smack. So how come you started being sportsmanlike when the local smack dried up at the same time? It was like, wait a minute. And it was like, nice repartee with them. And, after I decided to leave Alliance, but they probably knew, I'm sure their inside person just let them know immediately. It's like, yeah, I just wet blanket him, and he's like thinking about quitting. It must have been me that, it's like all this speculation, but it's not really speculation, is it? If they've done it many times before, they probably played CBA, and it's interesting because it could have been a situation where they played CBA leadership and then let them know they were making fun of them through a leak inside. CBA got really offended and took its toys and went home and refused to play at all. That could have been it. And then, of course, Domain can just use the excuse, oh, they folded too quickly. It's like, duh, you sneezed it in their direction, they fell apart, duh. But I think it was more like they can use the excuse now that, oh, it used to be like really sportsmanlike, but then, we just caved in and stopped playing with us. But it's like, yeah, but that hurt for a bit, but you don't let it affect you because it's a game and there's learning opportunities. There's totally learning opportunities. Yeah, I'll make tons of mistakes, but the rate I'm learning at and the ability now, it's like you make a mistake, sure, but yeah, remember your mistake, remember what you did wrong. Videos are great for looking back and going, oh yeah, totally. And then you build on that in the future instead of not having it in the first place. So it's like, so they're poking the bear, they go, ha ha ha, but it's like, at some point, people in the game will look around and go, nobody has ever really done an anti-piracy coalition in this game because the system is designed against them, against the ability to group together and protect oneself, against let's talk objectively, the incredible exploits available to griefers in this PvP game. Okay, let's be honest about it. Eve is a griefer paradise. So why are you trying to be an anti-piracy in a game like that? Just play another game. That's like, if you can't win, quit. That's their mentality. If you can't win, if it's not a risk, like they're risk averse. They don't like risk. If they pretend to like risk, it's because they're pulling their punches and they're trying to play you. They're trying to coax you into doing something. Like, I've lost one fighter wing all this time. And I'm thinking, at the end of it, I should just throw away my fighters because, I'm going to lose them anyways. But no, don't feed them easy kills. They want easy kills. If they want to loot it, so what? What are you thinking? Oh, yeah, so it's just loot to me. But you got to remember that loot is just ISK. But a loss of a whole fighter wing gets you a loss mail. And that goes on your permanent record, in-game and in Z-Kill. So why feed them easy kills and look like, oh, hey, here, just feed it because I don't care about ISK. And it's like, I'm not that kind of like blingy person. It's like, why should I play dumb just because I'm losing? You learn your best when losing. And I don't think people who use meta, like they were, like when they weren't using meta, they were playing dumb. Like, it's like, why are you guys playing like this? This is dumb. So it wasn't an opportunity for to learn stuff, and they were like, oh yeah, we learned so much from you. And it's like, no you didn't. No you didn't at all. Not at all. This is not your first rodeo. And you're just lying to me. The mechanics I reveal are interesting, but for you it's just a meta to use. And that's how you use meta. You're like, oh, okay, thanks for the meta. And they walk away, and you don't really think about it. You know, they don't really... it's just like, I'm the explorer, they're the achiever, or the killer, as the Bartles types say. Yeah, and they hate role players. They hate the socializers. You know, it's a big Bartles taxonometry, or whatever the fuck he did. You know, so it's like, yeah, all those decades ago. And it's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting game. But yeah, I mean, why the heck would you want to poke the bear? I mean, I was after Ware 4 because they were war decking us constantly. And they were also, I noticed, picking on people around their Dodixie area. So I'm like, okay, well, some Dodixie area people, there's a locale. It's a location. It's not all over Eve. You know, so why don't I help those people with information, and maybe, just maybe, slowly over time, a coalition of people willing to chip in to help others will form. And, I mean, you might say, oh, it's just Eve, it's just a horrible place, and that's what I thought about the agency. And I thought, oh, in a couple of days, people figure it out and just spam it just like Jita. But it's not happening. You know, this has been for a while, and this has been for a while. Why? And mining feeds in public. And this is kind of cool. It looks like possibly a streamer is getting involved in this. You know, I think it's fascinating. You know, so it looks, and this is cool. You know, I could even start posting those because, you know, why not? I mean, it would be fun to show people how to deal with fobs. It's annoying for, I found them annoying, the notifications, and now that people don't have, a lot of people don't have Tether, it's dangerous for those fob raiders, right? So yeah, I would love to do this, but it's like watching that Batman thing, The Dark Knight, with Keith Ledger doing the Joker, you know, with the fairy stuff, and he's like, what? Nobody's pressing the button. Yeah, it's like, look, so it's for me, it was very cynical. It was like, yeah, within a week, it's going to be a meta of like Jita doubling spam, you know, but it's not happening yet. I'm sure once the meta takes off, people will do it. But until then, it's like, huh. I know, right? It's like, it's very optimistic. But so in the face of the pessimistic divide and conquer, Eve's just PvP, and CCP loves it because Hilmar loves his gaming articles about new records breaking. And it's like, okay, move along, Mr. Let's get activity trackers and certificates and expert systems. It's like, I didn't want to look at them because it's just so ridiculous. It's just, it's probably based off the certificates and the activities tracker. And nothing to do with what would be a long-term skill point commitment for me that I want to check out beforehand just to make sure I'm not wasting my time, like, say, science or R&D agents or research or invention or or Triglavian chips, or stuff like that. It's like, is it really worth going from alpha to mega, stuff like that? But yeah, I don't even know where you would find them. Where is it? It's, I'm assuming, in the New Eden store somewhere? Services. No, it's not there. You'd think it would be in here. Okay. Yeah, just... Yeah, Ace Face made a... I think it's Ace Face? Made a great video about it. Do check it out. I put it in my recommended videos. I usually do stuff like that for like other YouTubers have made some really good stuff, because I can't do everything, and mostly I don't want to do everything, especially wormholes and abyssal and nullsec. Did they make a tab for it yet? I think they said they did, right? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see? Where's the science? Where's the R&D agents? Where are the, like Triglavian? Where are the Triglavian stuff? Like, want to check out Triglavian, you know? Why can't I do that? Is it, like, that's the main draw for people lately, the meta. Why wouldn't you try to pimp that? And so what about the outrage of people like, no fair? It's like, dude, pretty soon they're going to be like charging Plex for warping. I mean, it's a joke, but shudder to think, right? So yeah, I mean, annoying. Anyways, I'll deal with it later. Yeah. So yeah, good things do happen in this game. You know, bad things happen to good people. And it's depressing when you hope that they're good sports, but they're just playing you. But like I told a friend, it's pretty funny because I've been giving another friend updates, you know, daily about what's going on, and I scroll through it chronologically. I can see a regular metronome of twists in the plot that are probably just the playbook's SOP for these guys. And, you know, I mean, griefers. So it's interesting. Bullies in real life, who knows? Yeah, I mean, when's the last time you were able to document stuff like that, right? So it's kind of cool. So, yeah. You kick over my structures or whore on them or think you can take them alone when they're not awake. Good luck. Yeah, but to get rid of all my structures, which will happen, because, you know, easy targets, duh, and content, he fights back, woohoo, fun, you know, more than the daily grind. But it's like, you're actually motivating me to get interested in you, and I'm an intel expert. I'm not the best, but I'm learning how to be pretty good, which is usually, when I put my mind to it, a bit above the average, and nobody ever seems to do this stuff. You know? How many people go out of their way to eve-mail as many people as they can back 5 months that their clones might be in danger? How many people do that? How many people change the name of their station to try to warn people for just 2 days instead of, you know, the 5-day hull timer you get, which is completely useless? You know, should be the other way around. But it's like, how many people do this? And so you're poking him? That doesn't sound like... No. It's not at all. It's just he got fed information. He goes, ooh, I can whore on something in wardecs. That's it. And domain is like, oh, easy targets, let's wardeck. Nom nom nom. Oh, entertainment. Nom nom nom. Oh, time for metagame. Nom nom nom. You know? It's their standard playbook. It's not anything deliberate, because if they realized the risk they were taking, they would never have done it. I mean, seriously. Domain would have done it, because it's like, how can somebody like me effectively intel against them? It's impossible. They're just 1,000 members. There's no way I could make a coherent, usual intel drop that I can do for one-man armies like this, you know? But these guys would... sorry, I'm pointing at the wrong thing. Yeah, I mean, the domain people... bring it up so it's not, I'm not pointing at random things here and confusing people. Yeah, these guys, I mean, sorry, they'll get kills. In other words, there will be a lot. There'll be at least 8 Astra houses on their kill miss, unless other people whore on it last second and steal the kills. I don't think domain cares really, but yeah, there'll be lots. There's be at least a few. And these are pretty much all people who left that alliance, really, our alliance. Pretty funny. Anyway, so Exidium war report. Yeah, I wasn't able to show up. My wife was on a Zoom call, and the owner was doing real-life stuff. I know, only pixels. Aw, see? Look. Waste all their... Yeah, it's too bad. Yeah, see, that's not individual fighters. Those are entire wings gone. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 12. That's 72 fighters. That's like... Oh god, that's so expensive. Like, oh man. Satyr? Satyr. I sent a satyr against it? That's hilarious. More satyrs. Oh, space superiority. Oh god, I hope they were trying to kill drones and not anything else. Oh well. Well, at least he gets valuable experience, the person gunning it. You know, that's what I told my friend. It was like, thank God somebody else is getting experience for this. It's priceless. Yeah, I mean, the cost of a single wing is... Oh, wait. I was thinking Satyr. 78 million. So, like, you time it's by what? 72 or something? 180. Oh, okay, that's not that bad. I was thinking, like, billions. But, yeah, I've got a bunch of billions in fighters. I could probably finance a Fortizar planting just alone from the backup fighters I have in my assets and that I've pulled out to NPC stations, or NPC station, you know? Yeah. It's like, don't load them in the bay. Don't lose them. If you're going to use them, plug them in one at a time that you need them. You can do that. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just... Yeah. Did they... Somebody said they were killing griffins with small ships, but I don't see it yet. Weird. Anyways, yeah. So yeah. These guys. Yeah, I mean, it's just... Ugh. I forgot what I was talking about. Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. Game. Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, it's like there is no way I'm going to be able to form a coherent intel package for any of this guy's victims. It's like, makes no sense, and it wouldn't make any sense. But the interesting thing I can do is it won't be a concurrent thing. It would be in the past. It's like, okay, they did this in Discord on our alliance service using a cat's paw, or the cat's paw volunteered the information to people. my opinion is voiced easily. So yeah, you got the haters. Duh. People hate people like that. Like, you know, bullies hate people like that. Low risk. They hate people who take risks, you know, because it just seems stupid to them, right? Or if it's, they think you're playing them, you know. If you're taking risk, it's because you're pulling your punches and you're playing us. And so they hate people like that because they don't hate themselves. They probably think they're the greatest people since sliced bread, and they project all their, you know, very, very Jungian kind of stuff here. Sorry about that. Yeah, but what I can learn is going back through what documentation I do have and not speculating, but just pulling it together, looking at the red strings, going for the biggest red strings, and then extrapolating for stuff, because they'll never be honest about this stuff. It's not like you can, like, say, make your case and then be like, yeah, it didn't happen at all. It's like, no. Of course they'll say that. You just do the red strings, make the best case, extrapolate from that, and use that as a template for dealing with any future attempts at metagaming. So this is a great, because we've never experienced metagaming from hole dropping, wherefore, and they're like Jita Holding and you know, anybody from Pirate, right, and Riot and stuff like that. It's like, it's just for them ganking because they're having too much fun ganking, and the most metagaming they're doing is local smack, you know. They did, and of course exploiting bugs like Wherefore's gantry trick to get an undeckable alliance or corporation war eligible for a split second, so he can war deck them and then, you know, take advantage of it during that. I think he can make, I think they got rid of the exploit that he was instantly able to make them off the cooldown for a war. I forget. It's been a while since I read it. But yeah, that kind of metagaming, you know? Not the not the metagaming you need to entertain your troops. I mean, I can totally understand why Arton does that, because they've got a bunch of smack-talking griefers, and that's what they are. So, of course, they would love the inside joke of, we're actually playing this guy and we're laughing at him. And then we leak it later to upset them, just like they probably did with CVA. And I bet CVA just folded right then, because it is upsetting. But you can't rage quit. I mean, rage quitting is silly. It's a game. So, yeah. Very interesting stuff. The corollaries are still unraveling themselves. This I haven't even reached the denouement of, let me drink some water. I mispronounced that horribly. Oh, no water left. Better end soon. Yeah, the denouement, I think I pronounced that right, of this has not completed. I've still got a lot of hull timers to go. And heck, some of my things haven't even been reinforced yet. So it's going to be an awesome opportunity for me to learn. They've given up metagaming me completely. The instant they leaked, they knew the gig was up, and they leaked it because I wasn't going for it in the first place, and they focused on somebody else who I think unfortunately might be a bit emotionally affected permanently, and probably get turned off the game once he finds out they're just using him like toilet paper. That's going to really upset me. But it's, you know, I mean, I have made people quit this game, you know. I mean, I know, but people have told me, you probably killed a corp. Totally. They're probably never going to play the game again. I'm like, yep, probably, you know. I mean, there was this one time I tried to get in a low sec and wanted to plant a structure. And these guys were like, yeah, totally, plant a structure, we'll buy your stuff, and, ask permission of these guys over here. And I went and asked permission for those people, and roleplayed, of course, because it's a game, you know, have fun doing it, try to keep in character. contact the characters and not the players, and just, pretend they're big my muckamucks in the area, and you gotta, hey, just thought it'd be cool if I asked you. And they were like, right, swear loyalty to us and provide us this when we need it. And I was like, cool. And that's why I got to know them. And then through them, I got to know the pirates in the area, like Dark Twilight Solutions and stuff like that. And I think Zawa's fan club wasn't in existence at the time. Zawa Kami himself was in the game. He'd killed me a few times. He's really good. Yeah, and the local nasty little amateur pirates who were quite good around my area. And so I got to know them, and I got to know the area, and I got frustrated with my erstwhile people who I'd been chatting with in low, who were kind of blowing me off. It's like, hey, I've got my stuff set up. Hey, can you need this or that I'm producing? And they would just totally blow me off. I'm like, wait, what? And so eventually blowing me off so many times, I'm like, screw you guys. And I noticed them one day doing something out of the ordinary. And I think I've posted in something. Anyways, somebody does something out of the ordinary, I pay attention. And they were unanchoring something with a carrier. And I'm like, this has been a couple of months, and I've got to know the dangers of using carriers in low-sec. And they were just letting it all hang out. I'm like, okay, you never actually helped me, except that first, who to talk to. And you never really cared about me, and you treated me like crap, pretty much, because you were ignoring me. And I'm like, why should I have any loyalty to keeping your dumbass secret when you're doing something so stupid? And it's like, screw you. You don't get to pretend to be in this game playing the way you do without consequences. So I was like, hey guys, there's a carrier next to an unanchoring post, just hanging out, doing nothing, but just, and yeah, within 5 minutes, they had pointed it, and then they hot dropped it. And back in the day when, this was in 2008 or 9 or something. Couldn't have been any later than that. Maybe 2012, if I'm misremembering. But yeah, it was like dead. And they were like, you probably caused us guys not to play again. And I'm like, it felt bad I was like, oh shit, you're probably right. Because that's pretty hardcore. But I'm like, look, you play stupid games and you're going to win stupid prizes. Like me having 8+ Astra houses for a one-man operation. I could do it easily, and it was cheap for me to do it. It didn't take much once I planted them. But yeah, it was, yeah, I knew this was coming. And that's the thing. It's like, I knew it was coming. So it wasn't as upsetting. And CVA might have been lulled into the expectation that nobody was ever going to attack them. Ever. Because people were humoring them and using them. You can farm them, just don't clear cut it. And that's what Domain is. It's a clear cutting organization. So I'm not surprised I go Wardeck. What is funny is they're trying to build a narrative that this guy contracted me, which is utterly hilarious. But you can't like argue with them, because they don't operate in a vacuum. They will try to reinforce the narrative and build this narrative, and it'll work for me. That's the irony of it. This will work for me as a showcase, going, look, I lost, this is my corp. I lost a bunch of structures, whole drop horde on it, or I hope they try to take me on alone. That would be hilarious. But yeah, Domain will finish the job anyways. But yeah, I mean, this will be a really cool way to build. If they want to narrate this stuff as whole drop's contract, I won't narrate it that way. I'll be like, these guys hoard on domains kills, and they're trying to build a false narrative, and this is what happened, and I'm going to build on that in a role-playing way, going, this is what they do. This is how they try to demoralize, but it's not happening. It's not a conspiracy. It's just randomness. It's not a contract. It's randomness. This is proof that good things can happen in EVE if you put your mind to it. And most people don't put their mind to it. I mean, how many people send intel packages about, like, this is my intel package I sent freaking Alliance a while ago, when on the 28th, I think. Where is it? Where for? And then this. I mean, this typical stuff I do. This is just one. I mean, freaking, when was this? In January. Jesus. It's gone much better than this. Wow, this is such an early form. What an amazing job. Wow, I've done since then. Wow. Yeah, this is a typical intel brief I will give, you know, to potential victims of wherefore. I mean, I've built it up. It's slowly growing, and the coalition of people willing to chip in is slowly growing. It's taking a while, but I expect it to take a while. I expect it to take years. I mean, these guys are war-decking people constantly, and they're never going to go away. I'm not going to get them to go away. They might leave Dodixie, and people around there will declare victory, but I'm sure Wherefore will probably just biomass everything and start all over again, because he's got tons and tons of vaults. Like we're finding red strings everywhere. It's just crazy how many people, how many characters this person is able to do, and it's all very superficial tradecraft. And Domain's metagame is very superficial too. It's very predictable. You're like, yeah, they're probably going to do that, and yep, they did. Oh, it hurt, but we expected that. And you know, it's not so much as a walk softly and carry a big stick. This is their talking the walk kind of thing. Their walk softly, carry a big stick, and that's it. But it's very superficial. Once you scratch underneath the surface, it's not as much that as Beavis and Butthead reviewing a music video, or Alec Baldwin playing Trump doing the shark approach on Hillary Clinton. You know, I forget the actress, comedian playing her on SNL. But yeah, that whole debate thing with the, you know, it's a charade, and it's quite funny. But yeah, it's cookie cutter stuff, and these one man armies just, they'll have no problem. It's if they feel like the coalition against them has grown too large, they will simply reinvent themselves. I mean, Wherefore used to be Where 3, and Where 3 used to be Where 1, 2. And, you know, I mean, these people are no stranger to the game. They've been probably playing this game since release as well as I have, and they have way more experience at griefing than I do. They use a meta, and the mechanics haven't changed, so once the mechanics are laid bare, eventually there will be a body of work able to effectively not only give feedback to CCP about how ridiculously they look, and how it's like carry softly and carry a big stick, and we're like totally skilled, and it's only the best of the best of the best can do this. And it's like, no, it's like the drooling retarded monkey could do this traveling a freighter sideways. You just blew over CVA. Congratulations. You just ruined forever a part of the game. Nobody's gonna ever try that again. And why would they? It's gone now. The opportunity's gone, lost. You'll never be able to farm them because you clear-cutted them. How smart is that? You just bit the hand that fed. Duh. Whatever. No matter what excuses they put out, it's like, why did you, as a player, as a human being, did you even conceive that you would be ridding the game of something everybody farmed? No. They wanted to be the big bad ones who got rid of it. And it's like, oh wow, what skill. Wow, what skill it takes to attack small people. Because, but that's CCP's play. That senior GM said, we provide lack of documentation, so it allows content creators, emergent content creators, the opportunities to do what? Take advantage of people because your sloppy mechanics allow them to do it without raising, without having to sweat. Once you learn the tricks, it's like, oh, this is stupid, And then, once the outcry is large enough, CCP just changes it and, and they nerf it until eventually it's just going to be the absolute rock bottom losers who are PvPing. And everybody else is like, the hell? Yeah, this game is not dead. Not by a long shot. Jumpgate back in 2003 when I quit, it never got above 2,000 people. On its ebbed hours, it was like 1,000 people. Peak, it was 2,000. And we've always been 20,000 minimum, So, and the 5th month of Walking Stations is coming up, and I'm sure people will be talking about the days of 40k on the server, blah blah blah. But no, the game is not dead by a long shot. There will always be an opportunity, and I like the game because I don't have to wait in a lobby. I can learn about bullies. I can defend the weak. It's fun. It's a fun game of hoping for the best in people and being delighted when you see it. You expect somebody's going to pull that trigger and blow the other fairy up. Keith Ledger's character is like, whoa, told ya. But no, he's wrong. These guys are wrong. They're not anything but, if we can't win, we give up. If we can't win, we give up. If we can't win, we're just going to buy a mess of guys and start all over again and find a way that we can meta this thing. And it's like, there's no learning. It's like, somebody else is using meta, we're going to use it too. And it's like their idea of pulling the punches and toying with the mouse, basically. They're a cat and a mouse. They like being the cat toying with the mouse. And we are the mouse. I am the mouse. I'll be ground up, destroyed. My Astor houses will. I will learn priceless information to help people. If they want to dare putting down Astor houses, I'll be there. I'll be there going, these are the traps, these are the pitfalls. You just got wardecked by somebody who does this, this, and this. Whole drop has different personality. Wherefore is very tradecrafty. He pretends to be different people. I don't think Whole Drop is going to bother pretending. These people are antisocial. It's very difficult for them to keep players because they're all about the kill mail whoring. They want to be the one with the final shot, and that doesn't sit well with a lot of people. Humans, duh. So these people lack empathy. I keep pointing towards that, meaning the domain people. That's too funny. Yeah, these guys, they love their meta, but they've got 1,000 members, and there's no way you find the 1,000 members by Eve, but Eve is great. It does lag at times. It's still showing these guys as 22 members when there's 35. 2 weeks ago, it was 33 members in-game showing for attributes for members for that court. But yeah, these guys don't need to invent different personalities because they have them, and they can use the smack talking mofos in local to leak information, to trust them to make your own erotic adventure novels in local, just making shit up, and their buddies backing them up and trying to further the, it's just like, and soon enough you'll have a surprise penis somewhere. That's just basically how they operate. It's like they do not need to fake what these guys do. But it's, I just pretend that these guys are wherefore. That's all I do. I don't know enough about Hole Drop yet. I will. But yeah, once my structures are gone, Hole Drop won't give a crap about them, and they'll go back to killing somebody else. It's not like they had me on my Rolodex, and once I'm off the Rolodex, it's not like I'm going to roll back anytime soon. CCP changes the rules for buyback of cores. Probably I'll get back into the upwell business. Be not the low-hanging fruit, and be not the top-hanging fruit, the blame. Just be in the middle. Just act normal. Of course, I don't act normal because I give out intel. And I'm sure Wherefore knows about me by now doing that. But it's like, who cares? Who's going to band together? Who are you trying to help? People who never respond to me? Well, 95% of people don't. 95% of people are easy targets for them. So it's like, they just expect a world. They are the Joker, and it is demoralizing. You think, it's going to be that way forever, but it's not. The game is capable, and the more I get interested in this, the more I'll start contacting and finding out who are reliable mercenaries, who are good to hire, who are dependable and will show up and will help you, who are if New Eden Police is actually an entity I should be interested in joining, because I don't like joining other corporations, but I might after this, instead of bringing in my corp members into this war, because I can't really do much outside. Like I've got my mains are in this non-wardeckable corp inside the Alliance still, and I can totally show up and do Griffin work on this. I wouldn't be able to do any jams on say if the Hole Drop brings stuff, but the two of them can't lodge each other. So yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much for the opportunity, but I'll nom on you instead. But I don't think I'll need to. If they show their hand too early, I could totally have my mains join Discord. But I'm thinking of actually having all my mains join New Eden Police. Why not, right? I mean, I've never actually done that, and it would be fun. And stupid freaking guys for motivating me to do that. Thank you. I wouldn't have done it otherwise. I'd be happy in my own little world, but it's like, you've introduced me to a world that's fascinating by giving me real-time practical experience. And it's not like I lacked the motivation. It was just I lacked the experience in the whole mechanics of high-sec wardecking. On a real-time basis, and not some schmucking freaking corp member or Alliance going, can I help? And I don't know, and you don't really get the feel of the guns of an upwell. You don't get the experience of what can I do to help an upwell gunner without that experience, right? Otherwise, you're just waiting for orders, which sometimes never come, right? And fleets that never form, and people who just give up because they can't win, And it's not that. We can beat these people. I mean, long ago, it was that thing I said earlier about, if you tank it, we will bring more DPS. That was the motto, the official motto of Hulkageddon. If you try to tank, your skiff will just bring more stuff. No, when you look at the Z kill of all the kills, it was always, without fail, it was always easy kills on easy targets. And if you found, oh, there was a skiff killed, and you look at it, and it was some blinged out, stupid, billion-esque Tech 2 blinged out goon or pirate or one of the big boys shooting up a skiff, and you're like, that's not exactly doing it smart. And it's not. It's whenever they try to do something that's not meta, it's always stupid and it's lazy. And if you even put a little micro thought into it, it was dumb as hell. So it's not intelligent countering. It's like, well, if you bring tank, we'll just do our meta. If you bring this, we'll just bring our meta. And it's like, okay, the meta works. That's why it's the meta. But that's not what the saying, if you tank, we'll bring more DPS. That's you're basically ending up admitting that little axiom is actually, if you do anything in the game, we're gonna blob you randomly. Like, okay. So are you proud of that motto now? So yeah, I mean, it's risk aversion, it's laziness, it's I want entertainment, entertain me. That's it. That's their entire, they want to be entertained. They will do anything and everything they can inside and outside the game to milk as much entertainment to keep their members occupied and entertained. And why not? It's a game, and it's a PvP game. As long as you're not crossing the line into EULA breaking and TOS breaking activities, which is how you go from a basic troll who is instantly banned from the forums to one that knows how to fly on the radar, and we all know those type. And that's the advanced troll, and these people are just advanced trolls. It's just the way they operate. And if you remember that, you will never, ever have a bad experience playing this game. Because you knew that planting that upwell would eventually, randomly, you don't know when, garner you attention from the big boys, bigger fish, who would eat you up alive. And that was the price I was willing to pay. And what I've learned is, if I knew all this in the beginning, I would have done it all again, because this learning opportunity is absolutely priceless. And it's probably their prime time. I might as well pay attention to what's going on around me. I don't think after that Asbel loss, I don't think there was much. But I'll check. We got so many timers. It's crazy. It's funny. But I've got all my assets safe. Got all my clones safe. They ramped it up to milk out as much entertainment as possible. And it was fortunate because I took it as being sportsmanlike, but it wasn't. It was just their way of milking it, slowly turning out the pressure for their own entertainment. See what they could coax out, just like CBA. See what kind of fun fights it would have in local before they slowly cranked up the pressure to maximum and just clear-cutted everything. Why wouldn't they pace it? Too many timers is difficult for them. Yeah, it's madness for us, but we've learned quickly to adapt and make it smooth and understandable, whereas they've done it forever, so they probably already have it smooth and understandable. And pacing it is a mechanic. They can't get around that. So, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of fun. I'll definitely make this public. The OPSEC is pretty solid on this. And no matter how much I tried to make the OPSEC, I think the Alliance Discord was more of a sieve than my videos, actually. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't worry about my videos because there is nothing in Eve. I find that somebody will eventually find out what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and if I'm in that locale, of course they will. Just through natural gameplay, not through any smarts or research or anything. Just, oh, we just killed him, he's doing this, or we just descan him, he's doing that. And a surprise only lasts so long. And the leadership I didn't respect were those who would get angry at me for trying not to hide something. It's like, dude, they're going to find out within the next few days what we're doing. And they're going to figure we're going to come back and try to do the same thing. So what are you doing trying to hide your activity? And that's what I do with YouTube and all that OPSEC stuff. It's like, if there's like Nick Securso and Shoot First were just amazing at OPSEC. I mean, this stuff is so amazing. Like, if it was still in Shoot First, never upload stuff. Like, my channel started getting popular last March, around now. Hey, year anniversary of me gaining popularity. Mostly my videos are popular because of the Evo preview stuff I do, the thumbnail stuff. And my occasional rants about how stupid orcas are. That gets a lot of views too. Mostly people going, how dare you? I love my multiple orcas. It's not playing a game, you silly morons. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, it garners a lot of watches. Yeah, I'll have to redo that to make it... I still believe they're stupid. I want to redo all my top watched because they're what people want to see. And so I've got to improve those videos to be more coherent. More, after, you play the game, you learn more things over time. You may look foolish at first, but if you keep at it, you can do everything. Yeah, I definitely want to try out New Eden Police Force. Join my forces if it's possible, if I need to. We'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'll definitely try it out because I think from now on, what I want to do is showcase what corp offices look like. I want to go through as many reliable, interesting, open, and large alliances as possible, corporations as possible, to see how they set up their corporations, their hangars. I'd love to see that. What they do with their bulletins, what's attractive. I've always wanted to do that, but I've always been comfortable. I've always joined people who were welcome, but at the same time guarded and knew what they were doing. Competent people, like Shoot First, Arcana Imperi, I have 10 fingers, combat, something combat and engineering, I forget, ACE, advanced combat and engineering. Those people knew what they were doing, and it was fun because I was always pretty much safe all the time. And this is the one time I risked it in a major way, and now I'm getting destroyed. So this is the first time where I go, okay, all my stuff is safe now. What I was doing is now destroyed. I could go back to AMOD, where's my home, and I'll probably jump everything there. Like, I don't have much compared, but yeah, I'll probably jump everything there. Be very happy getting everything done. It's been a while since I used jump freighters. Half a year, maybe. Anyways, yeah, so have fun doing that. And once done, what should I do? Go hunt fobs over the universe and be war unduckable? Woohoo, great fun. I stopped hiring people. My corp info is all about, mentoring noobs and stuff, but I stopped hiring people or recruiting people a very long time ago. I'm interested always when people try to apply. I'm going, oh, who's this, but I never accept them because, it's a one-man army, kind of alt army. I don't think I'll recruit. If I'm going to recruit, I need to go into help channel again and rookie help and help people there and watch other people help and learn what the most common questions are. I'm sure it's about career agents and this pitfalls of career agent stupidity, CCP coding and stuff. It's just painful. You know, and critiquing the tutorial, stuff like that. I think I made it, but I think I made it unlisted. I need to critique the tutorial again. You know, all that kind of stuff is very long-term commitment to delving into that. Or what I should really do is join New Eden Police or people like that and join other, you know, check them out, see if they're any good. If they're great, don't stick with them. Check them out, see if they're any good. Move on, check somebody else. Probably split up my characters to join everybody, like send one character into New Eden Police and slowly branch out to very large like Synergy. I'd love to check out their salvaging operations. It's still in place. I think it's not Synergy specifically, it's another name, I forget how they call it, but anyway, it was that old corporation that was into helping missioners salvage their stuff, and they'd like share the profits with the missioners. It's really cool stuff. So I want to get into that and, you know, all this stuff, but I've never had the opportunity because I've never been forced to start from scratch with no commitments. I mean, this alliance, I mean, it's, I would say bad things about the leadership, but the person who tends to create the alliance and create the public channels and create the Discord has total control over everything, and he's a bit of a dick. So I don't really have any commitments after this. I mean, I'm loyal to anybody who wants to form low-sec stability, which Domain is definitely not, and the Russians never were. Shoot First was, and they had been before, a decade before, so maybe a decade from now he'll try again. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I'm loyal to. That's why I was loyal to I Have Ten Fingers. He tried to stabilize in his own way a small area of Losec Fua constellation, which I wanted to make a home of, and I still have. You know, AMOD, crappy system, by the way, total shite. There's no reason for me to have stayed there, no good reason. So I think I'm just gonna store all my stuff at AMOD and branch out. Send my mains who are in another corp, a non-wardeckable corp, off to different entities just to join them. See, definitely not Goons, definitely not Pam Pam, and definitely not Pandemic Legion, and definitely not Tappy or Test or whoever. You know, if I was going to do that, I would have joined Bob back in the day, you know? But yeah, it's been a long road, but I think it's time to start really looking into corporations, how they name their hangars, and what kind of access they give to new recruits with no roles. Like, with access, say a recruit with minimal access, what do they say? Name some hangars, loot drop that you can't see into but you can drop stuff into, or do they allow free access to small stuff? Do they even allow access to, say, a loot chamber so you can like pick and choose loot, which is kind of weird because I don't think anybody would do that, because if you take stuff, it's not documented. And I wonder how many people actually use the secure audit containers. That would be hilarious to... Well, that wouldn't be hilarious, kind of a morbid humor, because those suck. But yeah, my curiosity is peaked now. The ability to branch out and discover stuff. And I'll be definitely following down that line of joining New Eden Police and finding out if there are any good organizations that used to or are still in existence to combat high-sec wardeckers. Because, as we saw, right here, it's not wall-to-wall, I'll double your ISK kind of things, or G to spam. It's like, why isn't their NEG to spam here. It just, and people are using it properly, and it's not a lot, but it's happening, and it's amazing stuff. So it is nice to see. It's comforting. It gives me hope, because there's always hope, right? Anyways, that's about it. Yeah, I'll continue practicing, but I won't be practicing against Domain specifically. I'll just pretend they're a one-man alliance and fight shadows. Practice pressuring micro up, say, a one-man army. Just that's how I would play it. Not interact with them as what they are, because they've shown what they are, and I don't need to. I have all the documentation. Anything more is just going to be trolling. Anything more is going to be pure outright fantasy, basically. So I don't need to muddle up the waters by continuing to humor people who are just out to humor themselves and really are the type of person who believes there is no hope in this game and might as well destroy as much as possible. Clear cutting it. Did I leave any loose ends? I don't think so. I think I did a pretty good job here. And I didn't rant too much, which is great, because whenever I rant about CCP, it starts getting swearing and, yeah, going off on silly tangents. Yeah, there was this one video where I ranted, and I warned in the beginning of the little description, and hardly anybody viewed it. So yeah, you have learned that my rants are not that fun. Anyway, so hopefully that was informative. I will continue to post anything I find of interest regarding the mechanics, but I've stopped posting recordings of the actual battles with Domain, just because it still hurts a bit how they leaked it deliberately. You know, using the same person who was throwing wet blankets around pretending to be a Care Bear, you know, when he was actually friends with somebody we've never seen in local. He admitted to talking to this guy privately about it, and yeah, it was like, wait, so I've never seen this guy in local, and how long have you known this guy, and what? So it was like, yeah, the whole sportsman-like stuff stopped instantly. Just stopped, and they switched to another target to butter up, and I was like, watch it. Be careful. And yeah, it's interesting metagame, isn't it? How, you know, I didn't deliberately go out to hunt down and destroy that corporation long ago that was trying to unanchor a boss with a carrier hanging right beside it. Outside shields. I don't even think the shields were on. It was just, oh my god. It was just, look, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, but these people actually do this on purpose because it's a standard operation. They've done it before, and they probably did it before CVA. They picked on CVA. But yeah, it's amazing stuff to learn, and I'm repeating myself. Yeah, if I learn anything new, I'll let you guys know. I've got this optimal. Well, I hope I've got an optimal fit by now, but all my Astra houses are all fit differently, so I'll be able to test different ways of doing it, and then realize, okay, this is perfect against this is a meta for me against what will be one-man alliances if you know, what I can use to advise people who are being attacked by the usual one-man army in high sec, you know, the lazy people. Yeah, because if they get attacked by Domain, it's like, dude, you're going to learn great experience, but don't think you can win. And if you want to still fight, even if you know you can't win, then you are better than these people. By far. Morally, in every way. You know, your compass is strong. They don't have any moral compass. But it's like, the way I look at it is, it's not like you're going to sue them for harassment. It's like, guys, seriously, it's like this is a game. look at it as, if you're going to apply it to real life, look at it as a way to deal with bullies or how bullies operate as a standard operation. Because, you know, they just meta it. I mean, they just wing it. It's like, I forget Cersei's freaking son, who was just a monster. I even forget the actor's name. He like, it's called names in public, and he's like, thanks, I did a really good job, you know? It's like, these people might be showing their awful human nature in real life and just playing themselves, which they probably are, but it's like, you don't have to treat it like that. Treat it like they are that King Joffrey. Treat it like King Joffrey, and think that the player is a really good actor playing an awful, mean role. And I'm sure they're total douchebags in real life, but just don't look at it that way. Just look at it like, hey, that was, and that way you can learn from this. It's a way to step back and go, okay, well played. You know, I mean, me getting wardecked immediately after leaving Alliance was, oh, that was interesting. Well played. But at the same time, it was most likely him getting fed information, because if he was paying attention to low structure stuff around here, he would have wardecked other corporations, which doesn't make sense. He's not, but he'll probably clue in where to get them soon. It's just that if they're gonna start making a write your own adventure in local smack, saying it was a contract, they're gonna play it to the hilt. Absolutely. That's what I would do if I was playing an evil wardecker. I would want my enemies or my targets, my victims, to think it was a big conspiracy. That contracts like Guiding Hand Social Club were always in existence. It's the thing, you know. Be careful who you tick off. Don't pick on me, or don't try to counter me. Just take it and grin and bear it as I destroy you. You know, it's like, yeah, no, yeah, so lame. It's like a B-grade movie. It's like, wait, I'm not playing a game that's a B-grade movie. I'm not going to suspend my willing disbelief that much just to entertain your BS local smack. And that, ending on a good note, is that.